The humble Slinky. You remember the Slinky? Seconds of fun for the whole family. Whether you were attempting some advanced moves or just trying to get the darn thing to go down the stairs, you f***ed it up and now your Slinky is tangled. How does one untangle a Slinky? The traditional method of randomly pulling on it and hoping for the best seemed to have some room for improvement. In fact, scientists have recently discovered that if you get frustrated while untangling a Slinky, the Slinky will sense your frustration and it will self-destruct. But fear not! Untangling a Slinky is quite simple when you know what you're doing. Just make sure that you always stop playing as soon as you notice you have a tangle. Continuing to play with a tangled Slinky could lead to a permanent kink in your Slink. And once Slinkies go kinky, they do not ever go back.
Hi there, I'm Slinky Josh, and in this video, I'm going to be showing you a completely foolproof method to untangle even the tangliest of Slinky tangles using science. We'll start with the simplest tangles and work our way up to the most complex ones. So if the first methods I show you don't work, just keep watching. Now, before we begin, let's study the anatomy of a Slinky tangle. No matter how Gordian your Slinky knot may appear, every Slinky tangle can be broken up into two key components: loop-de-loops, that is the technical term, and hook points.
A loop-de-loop is an inversion of the direction of the Slinky's winding. In other words, if you follow the path of the Slinky in one direction, it will double back on itself before continuing forward. Sometimes your Slinky might have fake loop-de-loops. These look like a loop-de-loop at first glance, but disappear when you give them a gentle pull. Gentle is the key word here. No excessive force. I'm looking at you, police officers. A hook point is where two or more coils have become hooked together.
Oh, green coil, I love you.
Oh, pink coil, I love you too. But there's something that's tearing us up.
Every Slinky tangle begins its life as a simple hook point. Aw, look at you, so cute. It's a shame we're gonna have to exterminate you with Machiavellian efficiency before you can become a threat. If you can catch your tangle at this stage, it can be very easily untangled using something I like to call the spinning method. That is, assuming you're using a plastic Slinky. If you're using a metal Slinky, the end is probably sealed with a pesky little safety bracket so you don't go stabbing anyone with it. This will also prevent the spinning method from working. In that case, simply take your metal Slinky, throw it in the trash, and cry yourself to sleep. When you wake up, go to my website and buy a plastic one like a normal person.
Slinky Josh's magic springs are super bend resistant and easy to untangle. They're also perfect for doing things like this, or this, or this. Now, back to your regularly scheduled programming.
But if you are really attached to your metal Slinky, stick around and I'll show you a method for undoing tangles even with the anti-stabbing bracket attached. If your tangle is fresh, it may be easily fixed. However, like a traumatized child, a badly tangled metal Slinky may technically be untangled with therapy, but it will probably never return to its original shape. You've been warned. The spinning method for plastic Slinkies with newborn tangles goes like this. Simply grab one end as close to the tangle as you can and rotate your wrist slowly in counterclockwise circles. If you have the blessing of the Slinky gods, this will cause the entire tangle to simply slide off the end. If you have displeased the Slinky gods, it won't work. If it doesn't work at first, try grabbing closer to where the tangle is and trying again. This will also untangle two plastic Slinkies that are stuck together. However, sometimes you'll end up with your Slinky only mostly untangled, with some loop-de-loops left near the end. In this case, you'll want to proceed to the unwinding method. The unwinding method will work on any tangle that you can put your hand all the way through, like this. However, the unwinding method will not work on a metal Slinky with the anti-stabbing bracket attached. The unwinding method goes like this. Step 1. Grab the end that is furthest from the tangle in your left hand. Step 2. Take your right hand and stick it through the other end so that the tips of your fingers go past the entire tangle. Step 3. Bring the fingertips of your right hand to the outside of the Slinky. Step 4. Rotate your right wrist clockwise so that the tangle slides towards the end. As you do this, you'll want to periodically grab more coils in your left hand to make it easier. Keep repeating the process until the entire tangle slides off the end. But what if you have a Slinky tangle that appears completely hopeless, or a gold-plated metal Slinky you inherited from your grandmother and really don't want to throw away? In that case, it's time to proceed to the final untangling method, the Foolproof Method. The Foolproof Method is the most complex method, but it will work on literally any tangle. The Foolproof Method goes like this. First, you'll want to attempt to simplify your tangle. Like your life, your Slinky tangle probably isn't as hopeless as it seems. To simplify the tangle, grab 2 coils on either side and gently attempt to pull them apart. Gently is the key word here, especially if you're using a metal Slinky. Don't force it. Try this a few different times on different areas of the Slinky. If you're lucky, the tangle will simplify itself into a more manageable shape. If it's plastic and you can get it to a point where it looks like this, go back and try the spinning method and the unwinding method. If you can't simplify it, no worries. The next step is to eliminate all of the hook points. Then we'll be able to eliminate all of the loop-de-loops that remain. First, find one end of the Slinky and grab it in your right hand. With it dangling from your right hand, follow the path of the Slinky from your right hand downwards until you find the first hook point.
The hook point is where the coils from your right hand will be crossing under some other coils. They might be crossing under 1, 2, or possibly more coils depending on how bad you f***ed up your Slinky. Next, collect all of the coils between your right hand and that first hook point and lock them in your right hand. Bring your fingertips to the inside of the Slinky to make sure no coils can escape. Keep these coils locked in your hand until I tell you to release them. It's important that these coils stay locked together as one unit because we're about to put them through that hook point and we don't want them to get hooked themselves. Now, all we need to do is take the coils in the right hand and put them where they want to go. No, not Disney World. The coils that are locked in your right hand want to go through whatever coils they're hooked with. In this case, the coils in my right hand want to go through these 2 yellow and blue coils. The next step is to use our left hand to create an opening, and then we pass the coils in our right hand to our left hand through the hook point.
If you did everything correctly, you will have eliminated 1 hook point. Congratulations! Now, just repeat that process until no more hook points remain.
Again, I'll begin with all of the coils between one end and the first hook point locked in my right hand. I'll then use my left hand to create an opening at that hook point where I can then take the coils from my right hand and pass them through the hook point into my left hand. Keep repeating this process until all hook points are eliminated. Again, I begin with all of the coils between one end and the hook point locked in my right hand. In this case, the coils from my right hand are locked with 3 other coils, a yellow, an orange, and a pink one. I use my left hand to create an opening, and then I pass the coils from my right hand through these 3 coils into my left hand. When you've eliminated the last hook point, the Slinky will dangle in a straight line when you grab one end, like this.
Now, once you've eliminated all hook points, you might be left with a loop-de-loop, or 7. If your Slinky is plastic, or you've carelessly removed the anti-stabbing bracket, simply go back and use the unwinding method to eliminate these loop-de-loops.
Grab one end with your left hand, stick your right hand through the other end, bring your fingertips of your right hand to the outside of the Slinky, and rotate that right wrist clockwise until the entire bunch of loop-de-loops slides all the way off the end.
If you have an unaltered metal Slinky, removing the loop-de-loops will be a bit harder, and your Slinky will probably come out of it with some permanent kinks.
Grab with both hands as close to the loop-de-loop as you can, and twist each hand counterclockwise as far as you can. Ta-da! Good as new.
And that's all, folks! You now know how to untangle any Slinky. Learning to untangle your Slinky is the most important skill you need if you want to learn Slinky manipulation. What is Slinky manipulation, anyway? Slinky manipulation is the art of using your hands to pull waves of tension through a usually plastic and rainbow Slinky. When sufficient tension is skillfully applied, the coils all appear to blur together into a single beam of energy, and you can create shapes that appear to defy gravity and freeze in midair. Maybe you watched my old tutorials on Slinky manipulation, but you didn't quite get it. In the 4 years since I created those tutorials, I've taught Slinky manipulation to hundreds of people, and I've learned a lot about how to teach it. Now I have a brand new video course that I'm confident will teach anyone the fundamentals of Slinky manipulation. It has over 3 hours of instruction and guided practice sessions, including slow motion video so you can see exactly what you should be doing. Now make no mistake, this is a skill that requires a lot more than 3 hours of practice to get as good at it as I am. But I'm so confident you'll love this new beginner course that it comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee. Just watch the whole thing, do all the exercises, and if you're not satisfied, I don't even want your money. There's literally no risk to you. If you want to check it out, or you want to get yourself one of these, just click the link right here or in the description. If you enjoyed this video, slink that like button and consider subscribing. If you want to see more videos from me, follow me on Instagram and TikTok where I post a lot more often. Thanks for watching and slink on!